You got to get uncomfortable in the knowing that who you're becoming and where you're going is very unfamiliar. So being disruptive, meaning not shaking up the world around you, causing chaos, but literally getting so uncomfortable with the old version of you that this new version is disrupting some mindsets, some actions, some character flaws, some genetic patterns. Everything that we thought we knew, that's what being a disruptive leader is to me. What is it to you? Drop it in the comments below. Hi everybody, peace and blessings. I am Imani Hassana. I'm here reviewing chapter 4 in Journey to Greatness. This is chapter 4, Be a Disruptive Leader, From Engineer to Entrepreneur by Crystal Davis. When things get hard, go harder. So she has 8 tips that she gives us, y'all. Okay, these are women that did it already. If somebody can give me the game, I want to take it. Her first takeaway is discover what brings you fulfillment. Going within. So taking a lot of quiet time. I know I always talk about that. I'm a new meditator, meaning for the last 5 years I've been meditating, and there has been a huge shift in who I am emotionally. And I'm nowhere near where I want to go, but I also can recognize that where I used to be more aggressive, more emotionally unstable, unable to identify my emotions and stop them. That's what meditating has done for me. Discovering what brings you fulfillment, you have to take time to get to know yourself. If you don't know yourself, if you're shutting out people that love you and that are reminding you of things, and you don't take constructive criticism, if you are always distracted by what other people are doing, if you really just never take time and spend time with yourself, there's no way that you can truly get to know yourself and know where you're supposed to be going, what you're supposed to be doing, because within you is the answers. Okay, so discover what brings you fulfillment. Take some time to get to know yourself. Take some time to explore some hobbies. Take some time to listen to yourself. Go back in childhood. Remember the things that you used to like then. It's probably very similar. You know what I mean? So her tip 2 is write your own narrative. Don't believe what someone says is possible for you. Write your own narrative. Do not believe what someone else says is possible for you. Okay? There's a lot of people that like to talk. Okay? There's a lot of people that aren't focusing on themselves. They're not doing what they're supposed to be doing in their life. They have their eyes on you. They're able to point. What do they say when we was in elementary school? You point at somebody, you have 3 fingers pointing back at you, right? So you're trying to pinpoint what is wrong in someone else. You're highlighting all these issues in someone else, and you're totally neglecting yourself. Those are the people that we're talking about. People that spend their time worrying and focusing on other people. It's impossible for them to even honestly tell you some right things that are right about yourself. Normally it's a clouded perception because they're not working on themselves, and it's normally not coming from a fulfilled, whole, constructively criticizing space. It's normally coming from a criticizing, unhealthy space within. Don't worry about what other people are saying, but you have to write your own narrative, meaning you have to accept change. The first step to changing is acknowledging, saying this is what it is, this is what it shouldn't be, right? That's the first step. When you acknowledge our intentions before we're about to do something is I intend, you're saying why you're about to do what you're about to do. It's the same thing. You're about to heal, you're about to change career paths, you're intending to marry, you're intending to go in the bathroom and make wudu, you're intending to do something in your life, you verbalize that. I can acknowledge within myself that I wasn't living right, okay? And I want to make a shift. You accept the reality of you wanting to move forward with a change. Let that lead you. Okay, so always seek. Okay, listen, this is a disclaimer. Okay, Anything I say, I'm talking about me. These books I'm reading, not to get on here and preach to y'all, but because I just love being with my sisters. Like, I feel like, oh, like, come on, y'all. Like, let's do this together. I've always been like that. It's just now that I pivoted instead of being like a follow the leader, I feel like, all right, well, since this is the stuff I like to do, I know that Allah will align me with women that like to do what I like to do, instead of me following to do what other people do that I don't want to do. You caught that? All right. So this is the space I'm in. So everything that I'm talking about, everything that I'm reading, everything I'm writing is because it's my takeaways that I want to implement. And I'm going to reread what I've highlighted. So this is for us. Okay? So anything that we see that we need to change, and as we're writing our stories on this lifelong beautiful journey, creating this biography, we accept that we need to change, accept that we're going to change, and we move out with the plan. We don't know. We're in the dark. All right, so listen, I was on the treadmill this morning, right? I was running, and I always do it. I haven't mastered it yet, but I always close my eyes and I try to run at the same speed and the same space. As soon as I close my eyes, I start going backwards, or I'm going to the side. I get off track as soon as I close my eyes, and the entire reason I'm closing my eyes is because I'm trying to see if I can be balanced with my eyes closed. I'm trying to envision, like, my dreams that I have for myself in my life. I'm like closing my eyes, because when I'm sitting here and I close my eyes, it's so much more accurate than if I'm open my eyes thinking about what I want to do, right? So I tried that on the treadmill, like, all right, let me focus on my run. Let me close my eyes and think about what I want to do in the future. And I start backsliding. And that just reminded me, like, we don't always have to know exactly what's going on, right? And that's a safety issue, right? I was about to fall and hurt myself, but I will open my eyes periodically and then I will get back on track. But the point is that we can be in the dark and Allah is going to guide us. You feel me? Like Allah, we don't have to know every single step. The goal that we're trying to get to, we don't know how we're getting there. That's not going to be every day somebody drop down a script and you're like, oh, okay, this is what I have to do today. This is, okay, point A. We're not in a fiction movie. We're literally living a life of things that we can't see that exist around us, and things that are going to happen in our life that we don't know. And that could be scary. It could be scary, right? It could be very scary not knowing what tomorrow will hold. But the point is that if we look backwards, we know that Allah had our back every single time, even when we didn't like it. And I think just having that certainty and having that understanding as we move forward with our eyes closed, but really being familiar with the movements, is that we trust that Allah is not going to let us trip off the treadmill. Okay, He give us insight, right? So if I'm on the treadmill running, I close my eyes because I've already gained the speed I want. I know, I'm like, all right, Imani, focus. You running like this. All right, this is the speed, this is the pace, this is the movement. I close my eyes and then I start feeling a little shift. Is that because I'm worrying though? Because I'm changing my movement. You feel me? I'll open my eyes a little bit. That's equivalent to me as the signs that Allah may give us on our journey to greatness, on our journey to being successful in our endeavors. Is that I open my eyes, all right, I get back on track. Allah's going to send the signs as we do what we're supposed to do. We may make a decision to move our body in the wrong way, and that's us making a pivot. You feel me? But Allah is so merciful that the life we're supposed to be living, or the purpose that we're supposed to be pursuing, is something that He wants us to do. So if we seek repentance when we make a wrong move, we can get back on track. I hope and pray y'all know what I'm talking about, because I'm equating us going on a journey to success, right? Living in our purpose with Allah's guidance, to me closing my eyes on the treadmill. I hope y'all peep that, okay? So I'm gonna just go to the next one, because I hope I didn't lose. I know I didn't lose my girlfriends, okay? So tip 3 is design the career that you want for a change. If I'm designing my life, if Allah gave me a picture of what I'm supposed to be doing in life, if I'm starting to get familiar with myself, if I'm taking necessary actions to get to know myself and become familiar with what I'm good at, what I like to do, how I'm affecting people in different ways, and I'm pursuing that, then I can implement certain designs on that path, right? While you're designing your life, you want to ask yourself, am I doing what's important to me? How is this affecting the people around me? Is everyone involved benefiting me and the other people? What would this look like if I was standing before Allah? How would he perceive what I'm doing? Does this cause me grief? And not because it may get intense sometimes, but does it cause me grief? Meaning, is a headache that I'm taking to bed with me, that I'm exerting this negative energy to my family, my friends? Is this bringing me good energy, or is it depleting me in some sort of way? So while you're designing your career for a change that's better, you want to make sure that everything is in alignment for the better. Okay. Tip 4, take one step at a time. Because who said we was in a sprint? Who? Somebody told us that we were supposed to be jogging. Somebody told us that, oh, you're this age and you're not a millionaire yet? Somebody said, oh, you don't have kids yet? What? You don't have a degree yet? Oh, you're not married yet? Oh, what? You don't own your business yet? Who is making up these rules? Who is making up these rules, these standards? Is the standards based off of statistics? Is it based off of someone's opinion? Is it in the Quran? Is it a guideline that somebody said, okay, at this age, you need to be married by 21. If you don't have your college degree by 32, you're a loser. If you don't have that Benz by 27, something's not right. Who's making up these standards? And that's why if you're really not focusing on yourself and tuning into yourself, you will be driving yourself crazy, trying to compare yourself to the people around you that's comparing themselves to somebody else. And then you end up in a situation where you have exhausted and depleted yourself emotionally, mentally, spiritually, chasing a material goal from somebody else's standard, that when you get there, you're also depleted and unhappy. And then you run into stress and anxiety and depression. And all of these other elements end up accompanying you when you get to that goal, because your intentions from the beginning wasn't to be pleasing to Allah. It was to please someone else. So stay in gratitude. I think that's the most important step for us, is that we got to take deep breaths. We got to breathe. We have to understand that what Allah has for us is there. It's not going nowhere. It's not even going nowhere. What Allah has for us will be. Nobody can stop what Allah has for you. Are you entrusting that someone is greater than Allah? Because that's a big sin. Are you entrusting someone else with your destiny? May Allah protect us from that. I mean, because that's scary. To think that we can be so ungrateful that we think that we're rushing our life because we feel like somebody else going to take what Allah already has for us. We trust Allah. We trust His plan for our life. We do. We trust Him. So with trusting Allah, we're going to have to relinquish the need to chase and be ungrateful and live in tomorrow and live in the future and live in other people's standards. To tip 5, the path to destiny isn't a straight line, and that is okay. If you haven't taken a venture, then what have you done? Like, you're not supposed to know what's going on. The only thing that's important is to take a day at a time, take your time, rely on Allah, and to really focus in on living in the moment, because time is of essence. Time is beautiful. We don't want to misuse time. We want to have blessings in our time. And you can't do that if you're focusing on everything that's going wrong, or you're trying to control and dictate everything that's happening in your life. We have to live in today. We have to live in this moment. We have to live in our emotions. We have to feel what we're feeling right now. And we have to understand that everything is temporary. But as we live in our best day, which is today, and we're going to make this day the best day, because we don't know if we'll be alive tomorrow. That's not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed. So we're going to focus on our now. We're going to be grateful for our now. And we're not trying to figure out the mishaps that happen. We're not trying to figure out how to avoid them, because they're going to happen. Roadblocks are going to happen. Detours are going to happen. Traffic is going to happen. We still going to have to go to work. You still got to get to your destination. That's why we leave out a little earlier, right? We leave out a little earlier. If we know it's traffic, if we know that these things are going to happen, then we can prepare as much as possible. It doesn't mean that we're going to avoid the traffic. It just means that saying our du'as, keeping company around us that is going to remind us of Allah, filling our hearts with reminders of Allah, exercising, eating good, like all of that stuff contributes to our emotional well-being. It's not just read and that's it. It's a universal collection of things that we need. Staying in a state of remembering Allah all day. When something come up, you might have cursed if you wasn't remembering God. You know what I mean? Like you might have said F or, something like that. But if you were in a constant state of remembering Allah prior, then it's more than likely you would resort to saying something like Subhanallah, oh, alhamdulillah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so that's not fake. That's proper preparation. So to keep your tongue moist with remembering Allah is you properly preparing for life, for you staying in the moment, staying conscious, and that when things do happen, and like I said, this is definitely always going to be a reminder to myself and to you. Like you can set reminders on your phone, but just getting in the habit, honestly, of just taking moments throughout our day, aside from our prayers, to just say, remember Allah. Okay. All right. Tip number 6. The best laid plans will fail. Expect it, then get back up. Some of the best growth experiences that you will have is in the mask. I have to finish it though. I can't just say that. Some of the best growth experiences that you have had in the past is things that happen when we're sad. That doesn't feel great. It doesn't feel great. It doesn't feel amazing. But we're going to fail. It's a part of the human experience. And I always say that. But I feel like it's a reminder to myself, because thinking ahead of trials and tribulations in the future is like scary. Why is it so scary to us to not know what's going to happen in the future? Because we don't like the feeling of being hurt, right? But when we think of our past hurtful experiences, even though we can reflect on that feeling and still be hurt from those experiences, they all have moved us in a way that we wouldn't have moved if they didn't happen. So may Allah bless us on our journey with trust. May Allah bless us to trust Him. May Allah bless us to rely on Him. May Allah give us understanding, insight. Emmy. All right. I'm not about to start. I'm not. All right. So number 7. Number 7 is be determined to fight for your dreams. You're avoiding. It means that we're staying consistent, steadfast. It means that we're being courageous and resilient, and we're relying on Allah to rectify our affairs. It means that we are avoiding negative people and their negative opinions and their bad, heavy energy. So if you can avoid those people when they're in those spaces, because I've been in a space when I had my toxic season. I did, unfortunately. May Allah forgive me, Ameen. But when a person is in that space, you want to avoid those people as much as possible. You feel me? Because if you don't shield yourself, it can get you. Last tip that she has is you can have it all. She says, you truly can have it all, but not without some sacrifice and not without going through the fire. Just remember that success is not measured by how much money you make or how affluent you live, but how many times you get up after you fail. What we want to receive, we must put out into the universe. It's not always easy. We're human. We're going to make mistakes. It's going to happen. It's inevitable. You might see me make a mistake. I might see you make a mistake. That's the benefit of having community, a kind reminder. At the end of the day, you can have joy. You can have peace. You can have tranquility. Those are things that Allah has the ability to give us without us writing a check. Stop what you're doing. Remind yourself to remember the Most High. Do charity. Do some quiet time, some meditation. Do some fasting. Good things come from those actions. You know what I mean? Like, not measuring material. Like, take material out of it. People are rich as crap out here and miserable. That's a reality. People are miserable with material. It doesn't mean that we can't have both, but it means that let's prioritize implementing things that will bring us peace within, so that when Allah does put us in a position to obtain these materials, that we'll use them for benefit to society and the world around us. But at first, we work on what is within us. We can have it all. We can have happiness. We can have joy. We can have peace and tranquility in our heart, even if we're going through the trenches. Even through the storm, you can have peace. If Allah gives it to you through relying on Him, through staying close to Him during the hard times, that peace can only be given by Allah, but it can be seen by other people. Like, how is this person enduring? And then they're that way. And I think everything that's happening in Gaza is a prime example of that they're distressed, of course, but we also see their reliance on Allah is peaceful. And, you know, may Allah bless the believers. And I know I never say dua when I'm done, but I really do I always say dua when I'm with my friends anyway. So why not continue on? So we make dua, we ask Allah to bestow His peace and blessings upon Prophet Muhammad, his family, his friends, and his helpers. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us with the understanding and give us guidance to that which is pleasing to Him on our journey. May Allah allow us enlightenment and peace in our heart and our minds and in our purpose. May Allah bless us to live in accordance to things that are pleasing to Him. And may Allah enhance us in our skills and our will, our courage, our reliance, and our trust for Him. Allahumma ameen. It was amazing today. I'm not even gonna hold you. I felt really good about this chapter. And I hope you guys had good takeaways too. Drop me some comments. I wanna get to know y'all. Like, I'm here, but I wanna get to know y'all too, you feel me? So subscribe, like, and comment. Introduce yourself. I would love to know your name, maybe the meaning with it. Amimani, it means faith. Hasana means blessings. I hope you have an amazingly prosperous, healing week ahead of you. Allahumma ameen. Peace and blessings.